Listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. These elite pedophiles aren't just degenerates, they're fucking insane. They think they're above the law, above God. Newsflash, they're not even in the same league as us normies. Take Epstein, for example. This fuck was running an international child trafficking ring, flying on his Lolita Express to fuck kids. He had fucking billions of dollars, but he couldn't keep it in his pants long enough to wait till some 18-year-old asked for the check at Applebee's. You want to talk about Trump? Fucking based, you want to talk about Trump? This orange-tinted windbag knew exactly what was going on with Epstein, and he did nothing. Zilk. Nada. Epstein got arrested in 2005 for molesting a 14-year-old girl, and guess who was the first person he called when he got out of jail? That's right, it was Donald fucking Trump. They were best fucking friends again, back to their old tricks. Media tries to spin this shit like, oh, they were just friends, but let me tell you something. If I find out someone is molesting kids and I do nothing about it, that makes me just as guilty. That's not my opinion. That's basic fucking logic, you. No detour around that kind of shit. You know what the funniest part is? The fucking funniest part. These pedophiles actually think they're better than us because they can afford to travel on private jets to fuck kids. They've completely reversed reality. I mean, I'd rather be a homeless dude who steals bread to feed his family than some billionaire who flies around raping children and calls it fun. At least the homeless guy isn't a complete moral wasteland. The real answer, Anon, here's what really gets my blood boiling. These fuckers will throw you in prison for looking at pictures of them fucking kids, but they can walk into the White House and have tea with the president. That's not corruption, that's fucking organized crime with a suit and tie. They've turned the entire system into a protection racket. The Epstein files. Still sealed up tighter than Fort Knox. Why? Because if normal people saw who was in those documents, there would be literal riots in the streets. If these fucking monsters aren't dragged out into public, lined up against a wall, and made to face justice for their crimes against humanity, then we don't deserve to exist as a species. This isn't some theory from 2015. This is real as fuck, and it's getting worse by the fucking day, because these absolute degenerates know the clock is ticking before normies figure out they've been playing us like a fucking fiddle for centuries. The Epstein files contain names so high up in governments that if released would cause instant societal collapse. That's why they're sealed tighter than Fort Knox. Why do you think? Because these fucks have literally bought and sold their way to immunity from the highest levels of our democratic institutions. Meanwhile, they're spending millions on technology that will allow them to live forever, while the rest of us are forced into concentration camps for even questioning their authority. If these monsters win, and right now it looks like they're winning, then we might as well just fucking cease to exist as a species, because we've clearly lost all moral authority to claim we're advanced. I'd rather die in the streets fighting than live in a world where Jeffrey Epstein's friends get to use technology meant for curing disease to perfect their ability to rape children without consequences. Epstein didn't kill himself, and if he did, that means everyone involved in covering it up is guilty of conspiracy, because we've clearly lost all moral authority to claim we're advanced. I'd rather die in the streets fighting than live in a world where Jeffrey Epstein's friends get to use technology meant for curing disease to perfect their ability to rape children without consequences. Either we rise up and make them face justice, or we deserve to be wiped out like the weak, pathetic species we've proven ourselves to be. The choice has never been clearer. The time for bullshit is over. Epstein didn't kill himself. And if he did, that means everyone involved in covering it up is guilty of conspiracy, beyond all doubt. Either way, they all need to fucking roast.